makes it easier to get back on the camera, Max, for me at least. I mean, and it's not hanging out with you, dude. It's Kyrie Irving being discussed again. Your boy, Max, he's challenging our boy Kemba Walker to a game of one-on-one. What do you think?
You know what?
Why can't he stop?
No, it's nothing to stop about it. He wants to. Nick, the thing that you're not realizing that almost every one of these guys in the NBA right now are involved in social media, and they cannot stop themselves. His teammate Durant, if you and I said something about Durant right now that was negative, he would start tweeting back, and you could be a guy from South Mississippi on Elm Street, and he would talk back. So guys in the NBA now, they have a need to talk back to people and to be heard. And that's what, and this guy Truck, whoever it was, was essentially seemed like one of his
guys
that he played against when he was, coming up. He started talking about the gym, and then he talked about, I need to get with those guys who used to play against me. I'm ready to go at them now. It's like, for what reason? I don't know. Egotistical, and Kyrie is that, and narcissistic. He's still one of the best players to play in this league right now, and he can give anybody some work when it came to that. So for you,
but Kemba's giving him work. Kemba's giving him work when he was in Charlotte.
In a true one-on-one contest, I would probably pick Kyrie Irving. Because Kyrie, here's the thing you say, Nick.
I think I would too, Max.
No, Kyrie is bigger. Kyrie's a little bit stronger. He's just as quick. And there's an age differential now that Kyrie is a younger buck out here. So for that alone, now, not to say Kemba couldn't score, because Kemba's going to score on almost anybody out there. But if you just had a true one-on-one point guard in the NBA, I'm not sure how many guys are going to beat Kyrie Irving in a true one-on-one. It's maybe a guy like Devin Booker, who played in Phoenix, young kid, can shoot the ball. I would love to see him because of the quickness and explosibility, but there's not too many people in the NBA right now that I would pick over Kyrie Irving. It would be a hell of a match with him and Steph. With Steph shooting the ball from long distance, but I still think Kyrie.
Well, and Kyrie can't defend. I mean,
Kyrie with the quick. Well, I don't think Steph can defend either. So I don't look at anybody as a real defender from a point guard position.
You're right.
Other than maybe Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart. Yeah, well, I mean, he may not score, but no one may score in a one-on-one with Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart and Kyrie would be a better matchup.
For who?
It would be a better matchup because Kyrie would get the hell beat out of him first.
Yeah, the physicality would kill him.
Marcus, there would be, Kyrie would have bruises all over him against
and
Kemba,
there's no whistles.
Yeah, against Kemba, a younger player, I would say I would pick Kyrie Irving.
Well, and that Max, that may be newsworthy.
It would be a great matchup, but I would favor the younger, quicker Kyrie Irving if I said it was a matchup between him and Kemba Walker. Kemba was going to give him the business, but I think Kyrie at the end of the day would probably beat him.
So Kyrie tells Truck, me and K-Walk, I want that matchup, he said. Irving says, I want K-Walk, me and K-Walk. We have to. Me and K-Walk. How many times are you going to say it? That's my matchup. I want K-Walk. Then he says, that's his big bro. Now, I didn't know they were close. As a matter of fact, didn't Kyrie last season kind of jab at Brad Stevens for not adjusting on defense against Kemba?
But, Kemba is from the New York area.
He comes into it, yep.
Kyrie is from the New York area. So you're talking about guys who probably played against each other coming up during those early years of their career. And that's what Kyrie making a reference of. Yeah, those guys I played against in Fox gym or wherever's gym, I want those guys again.
Did you watch that live feed?
Payback.
Did you watch that live?
No, I didn't watch the live feed, but I just saw the clips of it, and him just saying, look, I want that. I want some get back.
Well, here's the thing, Max.
Some get back against guys you haven't played against.
He could get some get back if he would come to Boston when the Nets play the Celtics.
He's not going to get a true one-on-one, okay?
That's the only reason why he's not coming. It's not the injury. Plus, he's so happy.
You know, everybody keeps going on with this thing about Kyrie coming back, and oh my God, he's going to come back. He'll be back.
When
he'll be back enough for you to boo him. Okay, don't worry about it.
I won't be booing. I'll be booing here at home.
Hold up for all us Boston fans who want to boo Kyrie. You'll be able to boo him. He's going to come back here.
It's going
to be so many times. Right now, last year he was hurt. So, I mean, what do you want?
Wait a minute. Are you already referring to this season as last season? Or is it really last season? What the freak
that was last year. Last year when Kyrie shut it down before I think
Twice.
Almost about the time he got ready to be here. He shut it down.
This year.
No, that was last year.
Kemba's first year is this year, isn't it?
When you saying the year, I'm talking about last year.
2019.
Yeah, 2019.
My whole world was on the NBA schedule.
When Kyrie had an opportunity to come back here and somehow didn't. And people were chanting, and that was when they were chanting, "Where is Kyrie?" And that's when I made the point, and they started saying Kyrie sucked, and I said our fans are better than that. And Sean Grandy, my broadcast partner at the time, well, you don't think the fans have a right to boo? They can boo, but for you to sit there and say that Kyrie sucks and we have impressionable minds in the arena, that's not the Boston Celtic way, okay? Now, like, you remember when it was a game that happened, I want to say in Cincinnati, a football game that happened, and the fans start throwing.
Bengals?
Yeah, the Bengals, and they start throwing, and I forgot who said it. Was it Sam Walsh?
I think so. Yeah.
He stood up and he said, "God damn it, this ain't Cleveland, okay? Act like you've been there before." And I think and both fans to me are better than that. I mean, and again, if you're comfortable, and I'll ask you, are you comfortable by having a 9-year-old, 8-year-old at the game?
I heard a lot worse at a game.
No, I didn't ask you what you heard a lot worse. I'm asking you a direct question. Are you comfortable having an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, 9-year-old there and the crowd chanting out Kyrie sucks?
I don't have a problem with that.
Well,
it's a part of sports. I suck.
You suck. Okay. You said it's a part of sports. What the hell are you talking about?
It's a part of sports. I mean, think
you
about
know
it.
what? How about this? Some fans are creative, and I like that. They pick up on other things. Like, for instance, the Yankee fans. I love that.
They're the best.
Who's your daddy?
Oh, they are the best Yankees fans.
That resonates with me. The way that happened, that resonates with me. Kyrie, that doesn't resonate with me like that.
Yeah, but because you have always been a Kyrie apologist. You love the underdog.
No, I'm not.
You love the underdog.
No, I'm not an apologist. I just have a true fact is that Kyrie is possibly the best point guard the Celtics have ever had. I don't think I'm talking about from a physical. Before
talent.
Before your face gets torn up. From a physical skill point, Kyrie is the best point guard the Celtics have ever had. Now, the way he fit in with this organization and with this team, that's a whole nother story. Just say a year. And I'm only saying from a physical standpoint.
You're saying from a pure talent.
Kyrie is the best point guard the Celtics have ever had. I'm not kicking at anybody with anything else. But when you're talking about the ability to handle, shoot the basketball, play, he is the best. He is maybe one of the best players in the league, the best player in the league below the rim.
Below the rim is key.
Below the rim.
He's also the best player the Celtics ever had to waste all their talent, because the Celtics had the most talented team in probably 10 years 2 seasons ago, and he was not a unifier. He was a separator.
That's true.
And
that
he's
happened,
wasted talent, and I'll accept that.
But that happened. But don't excuse other people. That's what you're doing. You're excusing other people because
it starts with the leader, Max. You know.
No, that's right. It starts with the leaders. One of the leaders of that team at that time was Al. Al Horford was one
of the. You're going at me today.
Al happened to be one of the, and Al said that later on. Al came back and made a comment late in the year against Kyrie and all these. Hey guys, Emmett, let's bring it together. Al should have said that in the beginning of the year.
He's admitted that.
So let's not excuse and say, "Oh my God, it was all Kyrie's fault." It was a bunch of people's fault. Because one, I think you look at the entire organization, and I think that what they did, they were enablers when it came to Kyrie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And because you are an enabler, that doesn't take you away from, what went on. And I think this organization looks back on it. Danny said it. Brad, whoever it is, you can't allow that to fester, because if it festers, it gets to your other teammates and goes from there. You have to do it like immediately. Like you put out a fire, you better put it out quick, because
I think he was the uncontrollable kid, though. I don't think he could. He sucked all the air out of the room.
Well, look, here's the thing. You never saw anybody try to do that.
Brad.
No. So nobody ever really tried to do that. Everybody let Kyrie be Kyrie. Even myself as a broadcaster. Mm-hmm. There were times Kyrie just blew us off, and I've had a great relationship.
Really?
With everybody. There were times we wanted Kyrie on the air after a game, and the press guy would go up and say, "Kyrie, they want you on radio." You could see Kyrie going, "Fuck that! I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that."
Really?
Yeah.
You never told me that. I'm not surprised. I heard a couple. I think 2 or 3 times I heard, and I'll tell you.
So I think that
it was not the best interviews you guys have done. It was always very tense, but he's hard.
No, matter of fact, it was one of the best.
One of them was good.
One of the best interviews I had. I asked Kyrie a question that still resonates today with me. It's when I was telling Sean, I said, I asked Kyrie a question. And he said, a question he's never heard before. And, Sean was, you don't have a question he's never heard before. I said, yeah, I do. I said, Kyrie, what was it like the first time you beat your brother?
That was a good one, because he lit up.
And Kyrie lit that up. He thought about it. He was excited. If you want to go back and hear it, I want you to go back and get that.
I heard that. That was a great interview.
Go back and get that question I asked Kyrie.
I'll put it in here if I could.
He was so excited about, I played my father. And he said the first time, he said, I felt like I won the championship. He said, my dad told me at that time, he said, Kai, if you beat me, then you can't let up on anybody else. And it was just an amazing interview. But that was the only one essential. Maybe we did 2 or 3 more.
No, I think he did 3. And that one was very good.
But I'm just saying, even then, I didn't come to Kyrie and say, Kyrie, why don't you do an interview with us? Whereas I would said that about anybody else. So
what do you mean? Like you would have just approached Paul and said, come on after the game.
I was as much as an enabler as everybody else in this organization.
He was unapproachable. And here's the thing, Max, very, very, and this is sincere. In my mind, he is probably one of the more tragic stories, because, maybe not tragic, it's sad stories, because he is either so charismatic and compelling and you want to be around him when he's on the upside. Mm-hmm. Man, when he's down, I mean, he is tension beyond belief. It's so uncomfortable. He makes everybody around him uncomfortable.
Well, it's just really, Nick, you're right in that sense. I think that everybody, and I'm not sure if it's uncomfortable, but I think I equated to this. It's like when Kyrie Irving was in the room, it's like everybody was walking on eggshells.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about Kyrie Irving, not nobody knows. I don't have a personal relationship with him. I never broke bread, but I know one thing as an organization, and this is when I will put myself in the we as an organization. I think that we were all enablers when it came to Kyrie, and that did not benefit. And I think that most teams have been like that he's been on. When he's with Cleveland, you hear the same things, that there were weeks he would go by and not speak to any of his teammates.
Oh my God, the whole playoff run.
And there was a week when I heard, there was a week that I heard that, that I talked to one of the assistant coaches with the Celtics and said Kyrie Irving got on the elevator with him, never said a word. Going up 50 stories right now, never 50 floors, never said a word to him.
I don't, it's just an interesting breed of people. But listen, he's an extraordinary talent. He is, like I said, when he's up, he's up. He's on that note, Max. It's always a pleasure walking down history lane and getting a little bashing on Kyrie. I agree with you, by the way. I think he would be Kyrie. There's very few players today who have that fire that you see in Michael Jordan's eyes every Sunday recently, and Kyrie is one of them. I definitely
when Kyrie is right,
he is
right. Kyrie is right. Kyrie is a bitch. That's all I say about that. It's not. I've seen a lot of players come through here. I've seen a lot of players play, but when Kyrie is right,
nobody.
I know Perk and I talked about that on my podcast. And Perk said, for Rondo, I said, no.
Yeah, how does Rondo even get brought up?
Rondo was great at controlling the flow of the game, but Kyrie when he was right offensively, there's very few people that could touch Kyrie Irving.
One thing you and Perk missed about Rondo, he's one of the best rebounding point guards I've ever seen.
There's no doubt.
Great rebound with those big hands.
For his size, there's no question about it.
He's too smart for his own good. Maybe the same, I think, well, let's stop there. Nothing good's going to come when we start talking about people's brains.